Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have the most exciting news for you guys. You have been asking, you have been begging. Your wish has come true. In the words of Kim Zolciak, ask, believe, receive. It's happening. We are going to have a live stream show through Moment House of the live Juicy Scoop coming to you from Las Vegas on May 27th. Yes, you're going to be able to watch it. You're going to have a few days to watch it. It then disappears forever. It does not live anywhere else. You have to get the tickets and you can get them. You can have so much fun. You can be a part of it. You've been begging for this. For those of you who cannot physically make it to Las Vegas on May 27th, you will now get it through Moment House and stream and watch this exciting show. Go to heathermcdonald.net and there'll be a place to click to get your tickets to that event. You're welcome. Now I would like to introduce a really great interview I did about a very intimate personal relationship with one of Hollywood's biggest stars, Nicole Smith. As you know, her Netflix doc about her life is coming out in a few days. And I was lucky enough to talk to two of her very good friends that are also featured in the documentary. Patrik and Pol, you're going to meet. They're funny and they're endearing, but they also give a lot of intimate details of her life, her legacy, her death, what she was like. And they have some really strong opinions about some people in her life. And I want to say those are the opinions of my guests and not the opinions of mine or the show. But I think you'll really find this interesting and juicy. So let's get on with it. Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have my friends here, three of my friends, because they brought their little dog, Snow White.
Yes.
But it is Patrik Simpson and Pol Atteu. You have seen them on their show, Gown and Out, because they dress the Hollywood elite.
Gowning out
in a good way.
In Beverly Hills.
In Beverly Hills.
Remember, we're gowning out in Beverly Hills.
That's season 3. Gown and Out in Beverly Hills, which is a great title. But you guys have celebrity clients, and you just did Sheena Shea's dress.
Yeah. Wedding dress.
Beautiful gowns for all
and
occasions.
And the baby, Summer.
Yeah, he made her gown too.
I made Summer's dress.
I mean, Summer is the cutest.
Yeah.
I've hung out with Summer a few times as well.
She's smart too, that little girl.
Oh my God. She and Ocean are best friends and they are too freaking cute from Vanderpump.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you for coming here. And we were just talking about all the mutual friends we have.
Well, when Heather calls, you go.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
So I'm just saying, I'm here.
So you were saying that you've known Josh Flagg from $1 Million Listing. You said you've known him since he was 14.
Because he went to Beverly Hills High School.
Yeah.
So I've had my shop for almost 30 years in the Golden Triangle at Rodeo.
Oh, wow.
So he used to come by with all these very, very interesting ideas about headbands.
Oh, God. He wanted to do the sweatbands. He had little armbands.
Back in the day.
He wanted them to
Wait, you were doing stuff like that?
No, just for him.
For him.
Oh.
No, I was entertaining the kid. I was driving him home. Grandma used to come over and say thank you.
You know, very sweet story. Edith,
his
grandmother, she came before she died and said goodbye to Pol. Like she knew she was going to go.
She said there's only a few people that I really want to reach out and say thank you for all the memories and all the treasures that I can take with me.
Oh.
And I just want to say, I hope this isn't the last time I'm going to see you, but it may be.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say thank you.
And then that was what, a week or so? A couple weeks? Right after that, she was gone.
And you guys have been a couple for how long?
19 years. My husband, the bitch, will say 72 hours, but it's actually 19 years.
Well, it keeps it more fresh, doesn't it?
And
72 hours is more
And you've been
exciting.
married for how long?
We're not married.
Oh, you're not married, but
We're
you just say husband.
engaged. We got engaged on E-Television.
Okay.
On a show called New Money.
Heather, would you say this is a marriage ring or an engagement ring?
Yeah.
I would say that's well, I guess it's an engagement ring. You're right. Then you get
I need something
So-
more substantial.
you got engaged how long ago and on which show?
We got engaged on E-Television, a show called New Money.
Okay.
And I
Although
shut
ours
down.
was old.
It is true. Old Money, but on New Money. And I shut down Rodeo Drive and surprised him, got down on one knee and...
Wait, I'm going to tell the story because your story is very short
What,
version.
I need to know what year this was.
I'm going to tell you.
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what happened. First, they came out and they were going to do an entire week's worth of taping.
Yeah.
Then they said it was going to be a full episode. Then they changed those storylines so many different ways, right?
Yep.
Okay, fine. So ultimately, he was going to propose to me because we had a plane. I was
On a
wearing
private
my
private
fur.
plane. That was the
I
plan.
was getting off a plane and it was going to be in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So everything moved up.
But it wasn't like a surprise. You're planning it together.
No. We were planning it.
Yes.
He was planning it.
Okay.
That's what he was planning that he told me
Oh,
after.
please. She knows you. She knows you control everything.
No, I didn't know. No, I didn't know.
So what do you think you're doing on the show? Just acting like you had new money?
No. We didn't even know what it was called. So we were just having fun.
Okay.
But that wasn't going to happen until, not for the show. It was just going to happen in our life.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So then they said, oh, well, what if we did this? What if we did that? He goes, well, I mean, if you know anything about Paul, this is what I was going to do for him.
Right. So I told him I was going to do the private plane, go to
Yeah.
Hawaii, do a proposal. And so they said, why don't we do a private plane and we can do the proposal at the Burbank airport, the millionaire, the private,
Yeah.
I forget the name of the airport.
The Van Nuys.
Yes.
Van Nuys. Yeah.
And so they couldn't get a permit in time.
to film.
Right. So then they said, okay, they came back to me, the producers for me, and they said, okay, we can't get a permit in time to film. And they said, well, what else can we do? I said, well, I'm going to propose to him. So if you're going to capture it.
There's an important part there.
Oh,
They said, well, what if we just do it inside the hangar with the plane already
Oh.
there that you guys already have commissioned?
I said, Paul would never allow that. Are you kidding me?
So wait, what do you mean? Like kind of just steal the view?
Pretend.
And fake.
Yes.
Okay.
Fake it. I'm
And
like,
he's
are
like,
you kidding?
No, that's not going to happen. No.
No. So
No.
then they
It
approached
has to be
me,
real.
And they said, okay, what if we get a permit? Because we can get a permit from Beverly Hills and shut down Rodeo Drive in a certain section
No,
in front of
that's not what
Cardi.
happened. He said,
Okay.
I want it in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Oh, that's
Just
right.
like
Yeah.
Pretty Woman.
That's true. I did
Yes.
say that.
Why do you forget everything?
Not
Fuck,
Beverly
can I
Hills
say
Hotel.
fuck
You
or
mean
no?
the
Am I
Beverly
allowed-
Wilshire.
The Beverly Wilshire.
Beverly
Yes.
Wilshire.
Not Beverly Wilshire, which is
On the
right
other side of
behind
Rodeo
my-
Drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is right behind my store.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So he goes, oh, but we can't do that. And he goes, well, then you're not going to get a proposal.
Right.
Because unless you shut down Rodeo Drive for Paul,
That's
what
true.
else is there to do?
Right.
And they go, okay, give us 24 hours.
They come back to me and say, okay, we've got a small section of Rodeo Drive near
Well,
Cartier,
not so small, but-
that block, and we're going to shut it down for approximately 1 hour for filming. Can we do it? I'm like, okay, let's do it. Next thing I know, I'm off to Sierra Jewelers, same jeweler that did Kim Kardashian's ring, did Elizabeth Taylor's ring, and I'm picking that rock out for him.
How many carats is that?
22 total.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, Heather.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
Yes.
But then
I
the
was-
bad thing is,
Yes.
after we did this on TV and showed
Well,
it.
can I just give her a full picture? Because
Okay, give her a full picture.
so here's Patrik and I and Snow White. We're walking up and down Rodeo Drive. There's nothing happening on Rodeo, and I'm thinking to myself, because my store is right there at Dayton at Rodeo.
Yeah.
So we're walking up and down, and I'm like, what happened to everybody? Why isn't there anybody here? Because I had no
Yeah.
idea about the proposal.
And they want us window shopping, and he's walking with me, and we're walking. He goes, "What the hell? What
Yeah,
do
what
we
do
don't
do?
window
What-
shop. What do you
yeah,
mean?"
I'm like, can we just go in and shop? He's like, no. You have to just walk up and down the street.
So now it's because the cameras were not following you.
they were following us.
They
The
are.
producers were telling
Okay,
us you have
okay,
to pretend
okay.
like you're
But
shopping.
I'm like, but this is stupid. And they're
Right,
like,
yeah.
well, have a conversation. I'm like, about what? How bullshit this is?
Yeah.
I had no idea that there was about 50 of our very close friends that they had text messaged at 11 a.m.
Yep.
to come to be at Cartier at 12.
Yep.
and I'm supposed to be arriving at 1.
Like everything is planned
So
by production.
by second to second. So when he got down on one knee, right in front of our that's our palm tree now. We have a little
Yes.
tag on it. I swear to God.
It is.
So in front of on one knee, and I thought to myself, "Are you okay? What happened?"
Yeah.
I had no idea.
He thought I
this
was like
a total
like
surprise.
falling down.
Oh,
or
you
something.
thought you were having like a health
Yeah, he
issue.
didn't know what was going on.
Because we've been walking up and down for like a freaking hour now. I'm like, how many? Like, what is this gonna? Like, what are we
Having a
trying
heart
to
attack.
capture?
Yeah.
So I start professing my love to him, telling him this roller coaster life we've been on, blah blah blah, and then I, do the big question: Will you marry me?
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. He loved it. And then all of a sudden, he's I'm going to put the ring on his finger. Production comes running in. Cut. Everyone go back. After everyone had run out with both balloons and champagne and everything. He goes,
There was so
"We
much
need
going on.
everybody back on the other side of the building. And Patrik, you need to take the ring out. We need to do that again because we got to get a close up."
Now, at the same time, there's TMZ buses. There's all the Hollywood buses, and
They don't know
everybody's like,
what's going on.
they're screaming out the window on the other side.
Yeah,
'cause
it's so fun
they
for a
stopped
TMZ.
everybody.
But what a fun day for TMZ to
Yeah.
actually see like a filming and a proposal in one thing.
Right.
Yeah.
At the
that's
same, in
that's
front of Cartier, of all places,
that's
right
a good
at the corner.
TMZ
So I'm
tour
telling the
bus day.
producer, I'm like, well, what if I don't remember exactly what I said? They go, just do it best you can. So I had to go back on one knee, pretend like we're walking again, then got down on one knee, did the whole proposal thing again.
He loved it. I needed to hear it again. I don't think I heard it the first time. Although when he did give me the ring, my first thing when he opened up that box and I saw the ring, the first thing I whispered to him, and of course we're mic'd so everybody can hear what I'm saying, but
That's
I
funny.
can't. I don't know that they can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I go, what the fuck? Did you sell a house? Because I don't want the ring if you sold the
He goes,
house.
do we still own our houses?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm like,
"Yes, we do."
I want that. Like, what? I was shocked. I was
Yeah.
completely shocked. It was a moment for sure.
And well, I do actually have a real serious question.
Okay.
When a couple has been together that long and you do own properties and businesses together,
Yes.
how do you
What's
make-
mine is mine. What's his is mine.
right? But how do you make such a big purchase?
Without me knowing?
Yeah, because I'm just like I've been married for 23 years, so it's like
You can't even sneeze without him
like,
knowing.
like
I know.
if this won't happen, but if my husband wanted to upgrade my ring and spend whatever
Yeah.
$80,000,
He-
I would be thrilled. He knows that, but still, if I did that for him with like whatever a watch or a car,
Right.
I would have had to just discuss it and make sure. You know what? I do want to upgrade. Surprise me, but I want to upgrade because it's our money together.
Yeah.
But I guess
I feel like some things are listen, if my husband, well, I call him my husband, right?
Yeah.
Because we were together before the law passed.
right.
Yeah.
We were calling each other husbands since he proposed to me the first time.
Yeah.
This is the second proposal.
Yeah.
So it wasn't legal anyway. But I feel like if you really care about that person, you love that person, and you know what your boundaries
But
are.
did you want a ring that big and that fabulous? So he knows that enough about you that you loved and wanted something. Like that.
Honestly, it
Of
didn't even have to
course.
be a ring. It could have been anything because I've always told him I could live in a shack with you on an island if that's where we need to be as long as I had you. Of course, he would say, fuck no, because I'm not living in a goddamn shack.
I would say,
But-
fuck no, because I'm not gonna live in a shack and not have and be poor and,
Yeah.
and not wear designed. I don't know how.
No, but I think if you know the relationship, there are certain things
Yeah.
that, like, my first instinct was, did you sell? Because I didn't want the ring if he had sold the house.
Right.
Did I want the ring if he mortgaged the house? I don't know. But you know what?
Yeah.
He made it happen, and I think it came from the heart. And I
Yes.
think no amount of money could replace any money
Yeah.
for this ring because it's because something that it was sentimental that he gave to me that only me and him can share.
So this reality show that you were on,
Yes.
New Money, was this just like a one-off, or were you hoping that it would continue on and you'd be part
No,
of that
it
show as
was
well?
So
supposed to
originally
be-
it
yeah.
started. Originally, they approached us. Duran Ophir, you know who that is, the casting person,
Mhm.
approached us and said, "We've got this new series we're going to do, and they want to follow 6 couples
Oh, okay.
and a gay couple in Los Angeles, and you're one of the couples."
Got
So
it.
originally, it was going to be a whole docu-series.
Yeah.
Then it
Like
sh-
Real Housewives,
About the
but
fabulous
Right.
Yeah.
life of
Right.
certain couples.
yes.
And
And
but
would you-
very different.
But would the couples hang out together or no?
yes,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
were
you
going to
did.
show them they said mostly our lives separately, and
But then you have, like, a
come
party
together
here
a
and
little
there.
bit. Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
We were supposed to see who lives the most luxurious and lavish and
Right.
extravagant life.
Right.
Right.
And then they came to us and said, okay, after we filmed everything, did everything, they've changed the story. Now it's not going to be following you guys, and we're not going to do like a whole a month shoot. Now we're going to do a week shoot. Then they changed it again, so we're only going to do actually it was like a 2-week shoot down to a 1-week shoot. So we're thinking they're telling us we're going to get our own episode. So okay, at least we have a one-off, one whole episode.
So it'd be 6 episodes or 8-episode arc.
Yeah.
And
One
then do
couple would
something
be
after.
each episode.
Yeah.
So we're fine. We agreed to it, signed on the dotted line, did everything, did the filming for a week. Everything was great.
Yeah,
we're thinking we were getting a whole episode.
Yeah, we're done.
They followed our life for a week. It was cool. We did all kinds of different things. And then after an editing, they come back to us and say, okay, we're not going to do this as a 1-hour episode one-off. It's been changed to 30 minutes.
Competition show.
And then it's a competition show.
Yeah, I'm like, how we get
What are you competing?
for? Exactly.
And we now have 3 couples on one show. I'm like, what? They have 3 storylines. So I'm like, we went from an hour.
Well, so what's the competition?
So the competition was who spent the most money in the episode. And we didn't even know that we were the wealthiest.
competing.
Who was the richest in the
Who's the
episode?
richest?
And we
Yeah.
were the richest.
Who were you against? Anyone I know?
Some Turkish girl in New Jersey who.
No, that's Jennifer, right? Jennifer Aiden?
Oh,
Oh my God, do you know her?
Oh,
Well, who don't you know?
I've-
but
Is that Jennifer?
Yes, because I've interviewed her. She's Real Housewives of New Jersey.
lost.
And in everything that I've followed,
Yeah.
they said, one thing that, really Housewives fans love is how many people have done something. They've either been on Say Yes to the Dress,
Oh, like
or
something
they've
different,
been on a
yeah.
dating show, or they've been on Cribs, or they've been on something.
Right.
And people have brought up that she was on the show that, was a one and done show. It was one season.
That's
But that's-
it.
so
And
that
it's
was-
got to be it.
And who
because-
else? Who was the other couple?
And the other one was Kuba Ka, who's
passed
away. I think he committed suicide. I believe,
Yeah.
Oh.
a couple of years
Oh.
back.
That's
The
sad.
industry wasn't
Um,
kind to him. I
They were
think
very
in a lot
brutal
of
to him on
different
the
areas.
show.
What does he do? What did he do?
Well, he was
He
a
sings and
singer
dances.
and a
Oh.
dancer,
Oh.
and they made fun of him on the show. It was bad.
No, they did
They-
not make fun of him. They just
They showed a concert
Showcased-
where he came down
They
from the
showcased
sky,
the reality
flipped
of what
upside
it
down
is.
to an empty room.
Oh, to show. Well, that's what they love. Like when,
Come
like no,
on. It
but
was bad.
but it is true. They kind of love to show. They'll zoom in that it's empty. They'll zoom in that
Of
no
course.
one's looking.
Because in his storyline, he came on saying, "I am a dancer, singer,
But he
actor,
also said he was
actor,"
17
and he said he was 17 years old and he was
I'm like,
30
"You're
something.
not."
Oh, he lied about his age.
Well, when
You
you
know
live
what,
in
On
a-
the show.
when you live in an alternate reality and you start believing it yourself, you have critics out there that don't live in that same alternate reality that you do. So it may come across as lying or coming across as
but babe,
delusional.
it's fake. I mean, Jennifer Aiden went into a store on the show, say if that was her. Oh, I want
was.
this,
It
I want
was.
this, put this in my cart, this, and we were watching him. And he goes, "Who is this fake bitch that has no money?" That's what we
Well,
said.
we
really did.
She went to a strip mall store. So if she had actually gone to a legitimate boutique,
right.
I could say,
Yeah.
because the ring came about because
Right.
we have relationships. So when the transaction happens,
Relationship with jewelers.
yes.
Yeah.
So when he's telling Sato, the Sierra,
right.
who makes things for Cartier, for Van Cleef, and all these other people, right? So when he's telling him, I'm getting this, and if you watch the clip about when he was shopping,
Yeah.
he goes, "So what do you want?" He goes, "I don't know. It's Paul."
Yeah.
Sato,
I
you
was
know
so
Paul. I don't know. And he goes, "How about this?" And he goes, "No, I think it has to be a little bigger. Like you should have seen the sweat coming down this man's face."
Yeah, it was
and
a
then
lot.
the next one he shows, he's like, I don't know. I think it needs to be bigger than this.
Yeah.
And a very dear friend of mine, Eileen, was actually with him,
Yeah, when we were
which you don't
ring
see.
shopping.
So he took somebody that really knows me even before him that
Yeah.
would appreciate and understand what I would like.
Yes.
I was going to like anything.
So, okay. So, do you think you'll Are you waiting for a big ceremony? It doesn't really matter. Do you think you'll make it official
Well, so the next
to
thing
actually
is
get married?
we got pitched another show.
Oh,
to get married.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lance Bass,
Yes.
bitch stole my wedding because
We
we
were doing an
signed to
E-television
do the
series
show
for the
with
whole-
E-television.
You know the
Do a
wedding that-
I went to it.
A wedding
Oh,
show.
that was our
That was our show.
Heather, I was supposed to be getting married that day.
Okay, wait, because
we-
you were.
Except ours was gonna be a lot more fabulous instead of all those.
So do you
candles up and down
feel?
that-
Do you feel like you kind of gave them the idea? Because when we went to it, I was really like, "This is amazing. This is the first gay wedding that's
Yeah.
been filmed like a
Yes.
celebrity wedding," and I loved that they did the mother-son dance for
Yeah.
both of them, and then switched sons,
Yep.
and I was like,
Well, it was a natural progression from what we did. and
Right,
what
that's what
they
I'm
knew
saying.
For
So-
them then to do
So
the
after
next
we did
one.
the new money, the next thing we were pitched was this
Was that
wedding
one?
show.
Well,
let
and
me
so
tell you
what
how
happened?
far it
You
went.
didn't even take us as your date.
We-
What?
I took my husband as my date.
Oh, bitch.
So we signed on we went back and forth with the contract, put everything together for the wedding special. There's what they said they were
Yes.
going to do. Then the producers, we signed the contracts that we sent them into the producers. 2 months go by, we don't hear anything. Hear nothing. Then we hear that Lance
they're
Bass
working
was
on it,
and Michael are engaged. Next thing, I'm messaging our attorneys, sending the letter to E. What's going on with them? They signed the
Well, because
contract.
it was a whole scheduling thing.
Yeah.
So-
My attorney sent them a thing to E, the producer, saying, "Can we get a executed contract? Can the producer sign it and send it back?" Email finally comes. I'm sorry, but we have decided to take the show in a different direction. One of
They
the
always say
producers
that.
calls me.
Where are all these directions? Where are these
What
directional
fucking
signs?
direction?
One of these
North,
producers.
south, east, west, they all point to me.
Yeah, exactly. One of these producers calls me afterwards, a week after. She's like, "I feel so bad, you guys. We love you. They loved you. Everything is so great. But Lance Bass and Michael
Well,
Turchin
because-
got engaged, and they wanted to do a series, and their series didn't get picked up, so they're giving them
we
your
threw
wedding
them
show."
this.
So
But that's what happened.
and when I saw Lance in our boutique, remember when I saw
Yeah, he
him?
came to
I'm
our
like, "Bitch
party.
stole my wedding."
Yeah, he knows. We told him. He knows. He's
I
been
just,
to all our
I just had
parties.
dinner with him, and it is just your story is such a common story because when we had dinner, he was telling stories not of that, but of
Right.
similar things where he pitched movies and had writers and this and that, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
being
Yep.
so.
And he's a sweet guy.
No,
and
of
Michael's
course.
such
It-
a nice
No,
guy.
No,
yeah.
and they're great.
They've
They
been
have-
to our
they
Christmas
have their-
party. They've been to
They
so
have their
many
babies.
of
No,
the
obviously
events.
it's
Yeah.
not their fault, and it's like
Of course it is.
No.
What do you mean not their fault?
Oh, it's not their fault.
it's not their
Okay.
fault.
But
It's
you
the
know.
executives being like,
Yeah.
"This has fallen into our laps, and whatever. We're going to go with it in a
Well, of
different
course, he
direction."
had a huge following.
Yeah.
I understand
Which
that.
is-
It sucks, but
Which
it
is
was,
Yeah.
fun because I love them both, and
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the fact that they have such a beautiful relationship, and
Right.
you
Yeah.
know they're enjoying it. So, because marriage, the ceremony or the event itself is a party for me.
Right.
It's not because my commitment to him cannot be identified by a piece of paper, regardless, or this ring. Although I love this ring, whatever. But
so you do a lot of custom wedding gowns, as I've said. You did Sheena Shea's wedding gown.
Egypt Chris from Growing Up Hip Hop. He did her wedding
That
gown.
was
She was
just
8.5
on.
months pregnant.
Okay, we just
Yeah.
saw that on
Yeah.
she had the purple and white
Yeah.
dress.
yeah,
Yeah.
because she was pregnant. Nobody knew she was pregnant.
Yep.
And all the different things that we did, we started with white, and she goes, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it all backwards anyway." I go, "What would you really want?" She goes,
Yeah.
"This is what I want. These are my colors. This is my
Yeah.
theme." I go, "Okay." And it was in Vegas, so it really needed to be more Vegas-y.
And was that featured on her
Yeah.
show or your show or both?
We were
or-
on her show. We were on 2
Oh,
episodes
okay.
of Growing Up Hip Hop
Yeah.
and 2 episodes of Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, okay, great.
Well, it was supposed to be more, but then, everybody has to fight behind the closed doors. I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
And you had mentioned, and you've said this on a few different shows, but that you saw Raquel and Tom Sandoval at the wedding.
Yes, I did.
And when you said it, you just said Tom, and you didn't realize that that's not the Tom she was allowed to be with.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we talked about it,
Well, both
and I
Toms
knew
are
it was.
Toms.
To me,
I
they're
mean-
we always see them together. They're always they're nice guys.
They're like
always
in your brain, they're sort of interchangeable.
Yes,
like
and then-
all Toms look alike.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
were
It's almost
talking
like when
about
they
it.
see us together. It's
Yeah.
like when they see one of us, they're confused. Which one was that?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
It's a blonde.
I'm blonde.
You know what I mean?
He's brunette. But
Yeah.
and we talked about it, and it was during the, and like we're
Right.
just gonna put this, this is bullshit, and then we thought, okay, the producers are just setting up more bullshit.
Well,
we've
because
been in
we
the
were
end-
at the white party, and that's why we were moved. Because they put
for
Tom.
Tom Schwartz and Raquel to kiss at the white party.
Yeah,
So
I'm like,
you were
what the
at a
fuck?
table during the white party, and they're like, "Can you move from this table because we're gonna film the two of
Yes,
them talking?"
I'm like, my toes are getting nice and
Yeah.
toasty wet in the swimming pool. Like, what is that?
Okay, we had the best table at the
Yeah.
white party, and those evil producers came and asked us to move to the back.
I have to
And
tell you,
so
she
wait,
put
but-
on a beautiful wedding.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I really enjoyed
And
watching it, and it looked great.
Beautiful wedding.
But what? Okay, so tell my listeners, because
Sure.
I know I've told a few times, but
They're called juicy scoopers,
Yes.
right?
So
Okay.
tell them, what did you witness? So you're coming off an elevator.
Coming
or
off the
something?
elevator. I
At
looked
what
to the
time of
left.
night?
It
No,
was
it was during the
no, it was
day.
daytime.
Like
It was
around
evening
4.
time.
Yeah.
The day of the wedding?
Day of the wedding.
Day of-
Okay, and where in the LA, near
So-
the pool or near the hotel
No, near the
rooms?
bridal suite. So
Oh, okay.
off to the bridal suite, there's like these caves and like
Yeah.
rock walls, and then to the left, I look when I get off the elevator because I went to get something for him, and I see him kissing. So then I'm like, okay, my mind is just playing tricks on me. I don't
And
understand
is
any of
she in her,
this.
wait, is she in her bridesmaid's dress yet?
No.
No, I don't think she is. No, because she
'Cause she
wasn't.
was
no,
lost
she
for
wasn't
the
because
Remember, she was
she was
very
gone like
late.
3 hours. Yeah,
She was so late.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she wasn't downstairs. She was in a robe.
right,
I think she was on her way to come down.
right.
Oh.
Because the wedding was at 5. We were downstairs.
No, but the wedding was delayed till 6:30.
Well, that's a
it was
whole
supposed
different
to be at
story.
5.
Well, that's not that big of a
The bridal party was downstairs. Him
Yeah.
and I were downstairs. I was getting Sheena ready. So when we were downstairs,
Yeah.
the bridesmaids were in one area, the bride was in another, and the boys were in a different area, but all together within
Like
the
all
same
in the same
area.
building, same area.
So when I told them to go upstairs, they weren't downstairs yet. He wasn't in the boys' room, and she wasn't with the girls.
Right.
Mm.
And
So-
they've been gone for a long time,
Yeah.
which we didn't know until now.
So
after the
that's
fact.
when he went upstairs, and then on the way down is what
Yeah.
he witnessed.
And then we were
coming
talking
back.
about it, and then
So
I'm
do
like,
you think you witnessed a kiss after a bone? Like they had
oh
sex
yeah,
and
they
this
had
was,
sex before.
and this
I'm
was
sure.
and this was the
Like the
good-
goodbye kiss,
Yes.
and then they're gonna go separately into the bridal
Yes.
suite area
Yes.
and pretend like they hadn't been to. Absolutely,
Yeah.
because then he was drunk. He walks in drunk. and
God,
he's
what
got
are you,
this-
NCIS? Jesus Christ!
I love
Oh
it.
my God! I didn't tell Sophia Milos about her.
'Cause she came in, Raquel, and then they were taking the pictures with the girls and all that, and then he came in afterwards with the fan, and he was fanning, and he and
Yeah, we were having a
all
great time
talking.
after when they came
Yeah.
into the room, but then Raquel was pulled to the back again on
Right.
her own, texting and
she's always on her
I
phone
don't
the whole
know.
time, the whole time.
Mm.
And we talked about it too. And I go, should we talk to Sheena about this? He goes, it's her wedding. Like, we're not going to bring this up at her wedding.
I didn't talk to Sheena about it before when she was at my boutique.
Right.
Raquel came a couple of times to the fitting,
Yeah.
and
Oh, because you did all the bridesmaids as well.
no, not the bridesmaids, the bride.
wedding.
She
When-
came as just a
for the
friend
fitting.
to watch the fitting. Okay.
Because she was one of the bridesmaids,
Right.
but
Yeah.
the closest friend
To Sheena.
So
Right.
she's like almost like a maid of honor sort
Yeah,
of a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like, they're doing things. She's hosting things with
Yeah.
her and what have you. So she knows all the insides about all the stuff that was going on.
Right.
But she wasn't engaged. She didn't really care.
Raquel didn't really seem to care.
No, she just sat
She
on
was always
the
on her phone the
chair.
whole time.
Yeah, she
Interesting.
wasn't really interested in any of the stuff that was going on. So it was, I don't know. It didn't seem.
I think it was just all. I think her goal from the start was to be on the show.
I think it was fame. I
It
think
was
she was
fame-
after
fame to be on the
fame,
show. And once she
100%.
got on the show, she was going to stay on the show. So she falls in love with James. She goes after James, falls in love with James,
Right.
breaks up with James, or maybe she was never in love with him. Once that
she was never in
ended,
love with them.
she knew I've got to,
Correct.
and then she goes after 4 different guys on the show.
Yep.
But I said, never did she go out when they weren't shooting and look for a guy or go on Raya or anything. No,
Yeah.
it had to be a cast member. And
Heather,
she's
I
hanging
just-
out with all the
We
friends.
were saying
Yeah.
that whenever we would see James, because James would come to our parties, our boutique, we would see him at different events, and Raquel was there, and Paul never liked Raquel, and we would always say, I think this girl is using him. Because James is so sweet. We really
I
always
love
loved James.
And he's hilarious.
He's such a nice guy. So, like you said,
He's
so funny.
genuine.
He's genuine. And Paul was like always, why is
Well,
this
because when
girl
we-
with him?
Well, during COVID, when we used to go get our hair done, our hairdresser lives 2 floors above James.
Used to before
Yeah.
the movie.
So when
yeah.
they were engaged the whole time, we used
Yeah.
to see them there all the time downstairs. And I'm like,
And you said so
I never
many
liked her.
times that she has
She has an agenda.
Yeah.
She has a plan. She has an agenda, and I believe it. I believe it now. I really do. I don't even think she.
You know,
really...
some people don't believe me when I say things, but I'm one of those people that sees things through
That's true.
people. And I've got nothing to hide. I'm like, okay, well, there it is.
Well,
I don't even think it's.
some people have like this innate. My brother-in-law
I
Michael
listen to my
has
instinct.
kind of has like an innate judge of character, and there'd
Yeah.
be times when we had like friends that would end up getting divorced or whatever,
Yep.
and my sister would be like, you know, even though we did all these social things, even went on a vacation with this couple, Michael, her husband, who's the most stand-up guy
Mhm.
ever, greatest husband, just wonderful. She's like, you know, Michael never liked him. And I go, really?
Right.
And she goes, yeah, he just rolled with it, but he never
Yeah.
liked him. And he'd be like, I just don't like that guy. I just don't. And I think certain people have a gift like that. I feel like with Lala, like that gift became more attuned after what she's been through.
Right.
But some people just kind of have a character where they're just like, they just have a good judge of character
your
of other people.
intuition.
Paul,
And something
100%.
tells you that you're
I
like,
think I think if a lot of people listen to their intuition, their inner self, but you have to know how to be able to understand it and hear it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've done some training on it myself before I was with him,
Yeah.
where I wanted to understand myself. I really wanted to find me before I could find somebody else that could complement me.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I was able to really realize and, connect with that part of me. I think all of us possess it.
Yeah.
But it's just a way to be able to understand, listen to it, and reason with it. Because there's so many things that have happened. And I told Sheena as well. I said, Sheena, I didn't want to tell you all of this because I knew where you were and I knew all the things that you were doing. And I wanted to celebrate.
And also, she thought this was her friend.
Of course.
And so,
She
let her
wasn't-
have a beautiful day. It's not going to matter. You
Right.
didn't have anything like
But I don't-
concrete. So why say something? Yeah.
But I don't think she was ready to even hear it or listen to it because she was planning this big extravaganza.
Right.
And her focus wasn't who likes me or who doesn't like me or who's there for me, because her focus was Brock,
Yeah.
the baby,
Right.
their life together.
Yeah. She even told me when we were hanging out, and her mom too said, she really did the wedding
Yeah.
like for Brock. Brock
Right.
really wanted
Yeah.
the wedding, and she
Yeah.
had already done it, and she kind of felt like, come on, this is like my second wedding. I think she had a really fabulous time
Yeah.
at the time. But like, if Brock had been like, let's just do something small in the backyard or whatever, she would have been
I
like,
think
no
she would have been
problem.
for that.
Of
Yeah.
course, she would have been okay.
Yeah.
Well, because it was about the union. It wasn't
Right.
about the celebration. Or we
Yeah.
always say when all my clients come in, I'm like, the marriage is for you two, because there's so many bridezillas. The
Yeah.
marriage is for you two.
Yeah.
The wedding is for the rest of the family and everybody else that's going to be joining in the celebration.
I have another wedding question. When did it become a normal thing to be a bride and have like 3 different bridal changes?
Oh.
Because that certainly didn't happen when I got married in 2000.
I love it. I think it was great.
You still have
actually.
time, Heather. We can celebrate another one. It's going to be 24 years. Let's do it.
Listen,
It's
when
going to be
we
23 years, May 27th.
Okay, so we could do it May 23, so 23, it just
th-
finished.
No, it's coming May 27th.
Oh, May. Oh, my
Oh.
God. Yes.
Wow.
Sorry, I got my calendar mixed
23 is 20, will be 23 years.
wow.
up. Isn't that beautiful to know that
I always
you're
know how
with-
many years I got married because it was 2000, so it's very easy to keep track.
But
don't have
it's
to do any
beautiful
hard
to
math.
know that you're with somebody that you have all this to share with. You
Yeah.
have beautiful children. You have a great relationship. You guys are healthy. And what else do you really want or need? Nothing,
Well, if
right?
he wants to do a vow renewal show, I mean, because
Well,
I'm
can I call
probably
him?
not
Will you do
go-
it?
I'm
Sure,
gonna
I'm
call
not
him.
going to do it unless it's filmed.
We already said our 20th year, which is in July,
Yeah.
July 21, that we are going to get married.
Okay.
But we're doing it on the show, obviously. We're not going to do
Okay.
it not on the show. And I know Sheena changed 3 times.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm changing 5 times at my wedding. I don't
Okay.
care.
Why shouldn't you change?
I don't want to change that many times because I don't want to miss the fun.
Well,
I would change. I would do 2. I would do one thing for that and like the dinner. and
Yeah,
all
but
the
Sheena
photos,
did not
and
want to
then
ruin.
and then one short something to dance.
Well, I'll tell you, Sheena changed for the cave
Right.
specifically at the end. She
For the-
didn't want to change
yeah.
because
For
she
the
didn't want to
party.
ruin the dress. There's
Yeah.
no way you could have been in the cave.
But
with
also, I
that
think
down.
sometimes feel the dress is so gorgeous that people change out of it too quickly.
I agree.
And I'm like, don't
sometimes.
you want to spend at least
Oh,
you
she
know,
did.
Oh,
she
cocktail
did.
hour.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
she did
a
the
little
whole wedding
more time
in it.
Yeah.
in it,
Yeah.
and then like scoot away for the dancing.
Yeah.
No, see, I want to do
Like
a
Egypt
change.
didn't change.
I want to do a change for the cocktail party before the pre-cocktail before the wedding. Change.
We're having a pre-cocktail. Oh, because
course,
everybody's
yes.
getting drunk before.
Yeah, of
I
course.
love
Then
it.
do a change for the wedding, doing the whole wedding aisle thing. Then change for the after cocktail party. Then
Okay.
change for the dinner. Then and
I
reception.
have a question.
And then change for the after party.
What did you think of Teresa from Real Housewives of New Jersey's hair at her wedding? You must have seen it.
Oh, I thought the dress, everything was hideous.
It was
I did not like it.
1975.
1980 gone
Yeah,
bad.
It was, well, that's why I'm saying 75, because if you were doing it in the 80s, it would at least be appropriate.
Okay, that's true.
1975, and they missed the mark. And I know she wanted to do something that really reminiscent of her being like the first time marriage, first time wedding. This is what it should have looked like. But when you're a mature woman and you've got children, relationships, been to jail, out of jail, you've written books, some sold, some didn't sell. You've got so much going on in your life.
Yeah.
You have to really embody that moment and come to the person that you want to see at the end of, that aisle.
But here's the thing, though. Now everything you said, but again, it's your day. And if you want to have a dress that,
Absolutely.
like, I remember my mom when she was getting married, I was like, did her wedding photos, and I'm like, can't believe it. And she had a beautiful dress. But
Right.
I was like, why are you wearing, it was off the shoulder and like a sheath. It was 1960. And I'm like, why are you wearing a short dress? And she said, well, I was 24 and I felt a long dress was for a teen bride. That's the way she felt in 1960.
But
she was already kind of old to be wearing.
Okay,
Got
that
it.
makes sense.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand is I thought Teresa had better taste than this. I really did.
So
I've
I
seen her-
met them, and Louis goes right away, you're a comedian. Come on. What did you think of her hair at the wedding?
Did you like it?
I said, I kind of did a similar thing for my wedding. Not as big.
But you did it for your wedding when?
23
years ago.
I did a little, the little, what do you call, tiara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always I always did like a back bump it at the time.
Yeah.
So
Cute.
I had them do like, almost like my
Little chignon at the
and
top.
It was all my own hair, but it was
Yeah.
like kind of like,
twist.
yes, it was like twisted and
Yeah.
stuff. So I had a mini version of that. So what I said to her is, I go, what I think happened is, I think you said, I want some height and a crown.
Yeah.
And that was probably the only instruction you gave. And by the time it was time to go out, because I know she even started a little bit late, being that it was
There
a
were
big
no
wedding
mirrors
there.
around?
And I think, no, but I think at
You
that
don't look at
time,
yourself?
I
you
know.
can't
Her
change it.
phone has a mirror. Hello, look at yourself.
But anyway, I said, I think that you couldn't change it. It was probably heavy. And she's like,
God,
Right.
that's so diplomatic.
she's like,
of you.
totally.
But did
She's
you like her
totally.
dress?
I thought the dress looked pretty. It was strapless, right? It was like
Yeah, but I
strapless
just
and
felt
full.
she could do better. She's worn better dresses
I-
to the reunion.
I did think her girls and their dresses were stunning, and their bodies, and like I just thought all of her daughters looked amazing. They
Yeah,
did
I
like
agree
a
with that.
rose, and it was like fitted. It was a little different.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on. Anna Nicole Smith was your very, very good
Yes.
friend.
Oh my God, how
May
beautiful.
16th, her show on Netflix drops a
Yes.
documentary about Anna Nicole Smith. Really quickly, for people that might be listening to them, like, remind me, she had an absolutely perfect face, stunning face,
Stunning.
and she captured everybody when she was really the guest model.
Yes.
And she was more voluptuous than what we had seen at that time. Big boobs, a little curvy.
But Playboy too.
Playboy.
Everyone
Was
knew her
she-
from Playboy.
Was she in Playboy before? She was in Playboy before Guess.
Before Guess. Yeah.
Okay, before
And
Guess.
she was on Playboy cover of the magazine. She almost has
Playmate-
the record more than
Playmate of
any
the
of the
year.
other
I think
Playmates.
Pam Anderson.
Yeah,
has the
I think
record.
she's
Yeah.
second to
Oh.
Pam, I believe.
And then she really captured everybody's hearts and interest
Yeah.
when, in the early days of reality TV, she had her reality show called Anna Nicole. It had this iconic opening, Anna Nicole, and
You're
it was
so
like drawing,
outrageous.
and it was drawing. It was like a little cartoon,
Yeah.
and it was kind of her life after the modeling. So through the 6 seasons or whatever that was, we see her, with her lawyer Howard.
Right.
and her
Anna
son
Nicole
Daniel.
brought drama
Yeah.
to reality TV before the Kardashians, before the Housewives,
And
before
she's
anybody.
Southern, so she had like real funniness about her.
Yep.
And she was kind of goofy, and she definitely enjoyed cocktails and pills. And so sometimes she'd be a little more loopy than others.
Yeah.
But it was like comedy. I mean, everybody loved it. Parody. I think
Yes.
Mad TV did a parody of it. Like, so, I mean, you
She's
know who I just
iconic.
saw at a party was the interior designer guy that was on that show.
Bobby Trendy.
Yes, I saw Bobby Trendy,
Bobby.
and he's a realtor now.
Yeah, I saw that. He was telling me that.
Robert Trenda.
So tell us how you guys met her, because you're a big part of this. You wrote a book. You have a screenplay for a scripted
Yes.
movie coming out,
Yep.
but you are also featured in this doc.
We are.
So tell us what you can tell us to make us even enjoy this documentary more.
Well, first of all, I think that Ursula McFarlane, when we found out that Ursula McFarlane was the director, producer behind this, and Ursula McFarlane was famous for the Harvey Weinstein documentary, for your listeners,
Yes.
juicy scoopers that don't know that.
Yeah.
And I knew what type of cinematic just masterpiece she puts together. And I knew that if anyone could really delve deep into the crevices of Anna Nicole's life, it was Ursula McFarlane. So we met with her a few times on Zoom, several times. Then we sat down with her in San Diego for brunch. And then we just really, and then had several meetings and fleshed everything out. And I really felt she could really tell the untold story of Anna Nicole that nobody really knows. The movie is called Anna Nicole Smith, You Don't Know Me. And as her best friends, Paul and I, it was great that we were able to tell some things that people don't really know about Anna.
So, I mean, what did you think of when she got pregnant? Did you know that it was what was the guy's name?
Larry Burkhead.
Did you know it was Larry Burkhead, the photographer that she briefly dated? Did you know that he was the father?
Well, Anna used to call Larry Burkfuck.
Oh.
She could not stand him at all. And anybody that personally knew Anna, like Paul and I, can tell you that the last person Anna would ever want to have raise her child was Larry Burkhead.
Now, did she talk about him like that while they were sometimes screwing, or only after did she call him Burkfuck?
Always, through the whole time, she hated
Even
him.
when she was fucking him, she called him Burkfuck.
She wasn't fucking him.
Well, how'd she get pregnant with him?
Well, you got to see our movie now, don't you?
Okay.
So when I first met Anna, I was so taken back by her beauty and genuine sincerity.
Yeah.
I think when we connected on a different level as humans, not as a designer and, a star or a television personality or anything like that, I think we were able to have so many intimate, beautiful moments with each other that a lot of people don't normally even have with their spouse.
Yes.
And knowing all of that, and I would see people come in and out of her life, and I was always a constant. And he did a whole, thing where they would start highlighting me, all the places I am. Where like, oh,
After
he was
she
there
died
too.
and they were showing
he
the
was there
clips,
too.
They were showing all the...
Oh, he was there
Yeah.
too. Oh,
Yeah.
we missed him there too.
Yeah.
So I was there the whole time, but it was about her. And I feel like when she told us that she was pregnant, she knew I wanted to have a baby. And
Yeah.
she wanted to give me a baby. But then she goes, but you're not blonde.
Right.
Because, she had very specific, and I'm like, well, you know what? I don't know if I want to have a baby with my friend because I don't
so
come from that.
So you thought about
Yeah, but
having
then
a baby together.
But then I don't come from that arena. I want to be married. I want to be with my loved one. I want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As unconventional as my relationship was always going to be. And then when Patrik was in our life, obviously.
Well, first of all, I have to say thank you, Anna Nicole, because you approved of me. Because if she never liked me, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair today.
Yeah.
Because
I had to introduce him to all my friends before.
Well, then you're blonde and blue-eyed. Did she want to have your baby?
she asked me to put my name on the birth certificate of Danny Lynn in the
Yes.
Bahamas, and I thought I was putting my name on the birth certificate. And then Howard Stern went on to Larry King Live and said, "I'm the father. My name's on the birth certificate," and I was blown away. Did not know that. Because the plan was with Anna that I was going to put my name on it.
And we
Because
always
she said,
knew.
"You're blonde, you're blue-eyed. No one will know."
We always knew that Larry was the sperm donor.
Correct. That's what Anna used to call him, Larry Burkfuck.
But we never. But she did not want him
to co-parent with him.
Correct.
To raise the child. It was Danny Lynn is Anna Nicole's baby,
Right.
not anybody else's. So it's not one of those relationships where you have two parents dating couples, an accident, one wanted to have a baby, the other one didn't, one got locked up, the other one's raising it. No, this was always intended for Anna Nicole.
Right.
She wanted to have a little baby. She loved Daniel so much, she could
Her
not,
son.
her son. And she wanted to, expand her family.
Yeah.
And she did such an amazing job with Daniel. I used to always tell her, I'm like, he's going to end up being a rocket scientist. What are you doing?
know,
Like,
he was
how
smart-
are you
smart
managing
kid.
this? You know?
Yeah, he was featured on the show. Were you guys featured on the show?
We were.
Yeah. Well, we were with her the whole time. I was with her the whole.
I can't
Yeah.
really. I don't remember
Yeah.
the show.
Remember
We were
the
much,
with
but-
her.
episode when they went to the boutique in Beverly Hills? They got all the couture gowns and they were mud wrestling in the gowns. Those were Paul's gowns.
Yeah.
They filmed at the boutique. That was in the very first season.
I mean, I just kind of remember just seeing the house and
yeah.
and that Bobby Trunny with the canopy beds that were just not my taste. But
Tacky.
yeah, and then of course we got So then what also happened? The biggest part is that she married. What is the rich guy's name?
J. Howard Marshall.
Howard
She
Marshall.
married J.
Right.
Howard Marshall, who she met
When she was a
originally
stripper.
many years
Yep.
ago when she was a
In
stripper.
Yep.
And they get married, and he's very frail, very very old.
Yep.
How was he already 90 when she married him?
89.
89, and so she's married. That's
But
it.
they were
Right.
so in love.
But I'm going to tell you, Anna sat with me on the bed in the Bahamas, and she said to me, "Howard is the only one I ever loved." We had the conversation about it, and I said, "Anna, but everyone always says that he was old, he was in his 80s," and she said he's the only one that truly, unconditionally loved me and understood me.
Well, I think that there can be that. I
Sure.
think that out of the men in her life, yes, clearly that is the person that she knew loved her.
Right.
She loved him. Was it sexual, or a certain kind of sexual because of his health?
I think when
Maybe,
you're
or maybe it
saying-
wasn't at all. But still, it doesn't mean that there wasn't a love there and an unconventional marriage, but a marriage.
Well,
that
I
she-
can tell you,
Yeah.
I had phone sex with Anna Nicole, so I'm sure it was sexual somehow.
I think-
if not physical, there was definitely that
Wait,
there.
I think
Now, why
what
are
you're
you having phone sex
misinterpreting.
with her? Just for fun?
No, because she called me and she called him. She was talking to him on the phone, and we're driving in LA, and
I told.
he picked
Let
up
me
the
say
phone
it.
to her when
I
she's in
picked
the
up the
Bahamas.
phone. She's moaning. She's groaning. There's a whole stuff going on. At first, I thought, Anna, are you okay? Do I have to come up to the house right now? What's
Right.
going on? And she goes, no, baby, and all this stuff. I go, oh, okay, hold on 1 second. I go, babe, it's for you. So I
He hands
pass
me the phone.
to
I get
her.
on the phone. I'm like, I didn't know it was Anna at the time. I get on the phone. I'm like, hello? She goes, hi, baby. I have my hand in my pussy.
You can say that on here. Yeah.
I can or can't?
You can.
Oh, okay. I have my hand in my pussy and I need you to get me off.
Shut
So then you just talked dirty.
I
then.
did. I said, okay,
All the way to
baby,
the
I'm
airport,
taking
to
my
LAX.
cock out. Like I just started talking dirty to her. Yeah, big time. And then she
That's a good
had
friend.
I guess it's a threesome at this
She
point. I was
had-
in the car too.
she had an orgasm. She was excited.
This was at 7:30
Now,
in
were
the
you
morning.
worried about then she was a spokesperson for Trim Spa,
Yes.
which is no longer available.
Right.
I don't.
We were on the Trim Spa bus across country.
Yes.
Oh, and so, but she got all skinny again.
Right.
Yes.
And, people often
It was the
wonder.
Ozempic of the
I
time.
think so.
People also wonder, obviously, did that contribute to possibly her death or not? I don't want to say allegedly. I don't know. These were rumors
No.
because it was where is that drug?
I'll tell you that when first she went to the Bahamas, she wanted to get away and have her baby.
Well, wait
Her
a minute.
focus
No,
was-
You need to clarify that because she went to the Bahamas, specifically researched the country to hide and get away from Larry.
That's what I meant.
That's
Oh.
She went there specifically because he is a monster, and she wanted him away from her daughter.
She knew that if you have a child in the Bahamas, the mother is the one that runs and regulates.
And puts the name
Not
of the father in the birth certificate.
And
they
whatever
can't contest
name
it.
you put on the father's on the birth certificate
Yes.
becomes the father. So
Interesting.
there's nothing
Okay.
else. So when she went to the Bahamas to get away,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm being a little more sensitive maybe in the way I said it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When she went there, we were the last people she saw before she went on the private plane to go.
Right.
So she's there. We went there. We saw her. Then Daniel was in LA.
Yes.
When the baby was born, we were going to be in the delivery room to have the baby because we're the
Uncle.
uncles.
Yeah.
And when we were going to go, we had a car accident that morning.
Oh,
So
God.
we
Yep.
couldn't fly out. So we had to go the next day. By then, we hear that Daniel has passed away.
Right.
And just to let people know, so she had the baby. He came,
3 days
met
later.
his sister,
Yep.
Same
and
weekend.
you know when you have a baby, there's that chair
Yep.
there, and he fell asleep in the chair, and she's sleeping, and the baby's in the cradle or whatever, and she wakes up, and he is not waking up. Her
Right.
son, and he mixed something. He mixed pills.
Well, he
and-
never
Correct.
he didn't like to fly. That was
Right.
one of the reasons why he had a hard time trying.
So he
to
took
go
some
there.
anxiety, something, and had
Yes.
pills, and
Correct.
And one of the reasons why we never flew to Nebraska, we took the bus, is because Daniel didn't like to fly. So we drove. I mean, we didn't drive it, the driver, but we went on a big bus to go cross country to Nebraska
Yeah.
to Camp Kindle because she wanted to make sure that Daniel was with us.
and what was in Camp Kendall? That was her trim
The-
spa appearance or something.
No, it was
No,
a
no.
kids camp and that's a lot of people don't know how
The
charitable
kids-
Anna was. We went to a kids camp with kids that are infected and affected with AIDS and HIV.
Oh, wow.
at
And
the
we
time.
volunteered there for a
And
week.
she actually donated all of it to make
Yeah.
sure that the camp was going to happen. There were over 200 kids there with nurses, aides. It was beautiful.
And that was season 2 of the Anna Nicole show called Anna Goes to Camp. And we were on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he flew there, that was already, anxiety and stuff like that. So whatever he
Right.
took didn't really settle with his system.
And then how shortly after the tragedy of that, then she passed.
6 months.
Oh, 6 months.
The
For some
ba-
reason,
the
I thought it
baby
was
was-
like
the
I
baby
thought it
was
was like
born-
6 days later. or
No,
something.
the
No,
baby
no.
was born September 7th, I
No,
believe.
the baby is born.
Yeah,
Daniel passes away.
within days.
We have
Yep.
Daniel's funeral first,
in October.
and then Anna passes away.
yeah.
but
and
a
then
few months later, though.
February.
All
Oh.
within,
Yeah.
Okay.
like
For
From
some
September to
reason,
30 to
February.
60
in
days.
my brain, I remembered it being like literally like 5 days apart.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Okay.
not that close.
No.
So, when did so before she gave birth is when she had to fight Howard? What's the man she was married to?
Howard J. Marshall.
She had to. She had to
his-
fight
his
Howard.
son.
So Howard J. Marshall passes,
Yes.
and she is the wife.
Right.
So So was there nothing in his will left for his heirs? Was it all to
there
go to her?
was. No. See, he was estranged from his family as well.
Right.
Okay.
So the kids didn't want him around.
Right.
J. Howard Marshall. That's why he was looking elsewhere. So when he got married, he was free to do whatever he wanted.
Correct.
So she ended up getting everything. But what
So
they
the-
did is
but the
they
will did-
contested it.
But the will. So that's what I'm saying. But the
Yeah.
will.
Right.
Because most people, if they get married later in life to another person, they make sure that, like if you get married at 25, whatever, I die, you get everything, you die, I've got, then, but most people with their second spouse will say, okay, I want to make sure my second spouse is protected. She's not going to leave this home,
Correct.
that kind of thing. But it also, my kids from this first marriage get something. But because he was estranged from them,
I mean, when you're 89 years old, you're not thinking of it in a legal aspect
Right.
because a handshake is enough for you to be able, and your word means something.
so
It's not an email.
So he passes, and
Then the
she
son
and she
takes
thinks
on the-
she's going to have the funeral, and
Right.
she's going to inherit what she's meant to inherit.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the 65-year-old son or whatever
Pierce.
goes
Yeah.
after her, and it's this full court trial.
Correct.
And that's where Howard Stern, the attorney, not the radio personality, the attorney that's been her Was he always her
used
entertainment?
to no. He used to work at a law firm that
Right.
she was retaining.
Okay.
But because she needed so much more attention and Howard loved Anna,
Right.
he took it upon himself to be able to do all the other legal stuff and then had to
So she became his only
separate
client, basically.
separate
Okay.
from the firm in order
Right.
for him to be able to
And-
just take care
And
of
she
Anna.
had an opportunity. I don't know if your audience probably doesn't know this,
Yeah.
but she had an opportunity when she went to the Supreme Court before she died, and when she was first
She
pregnant.
was wearing the black outfit.
and she called us and she said, they're offering me $69 million.
No.
Yeah, it was.
No,
How much was it?
144 million.
No, it wasn't. No,
yes.
it's $69 million because listen.
the-
No, I'm
Okay.
telling you, what she told us, and you remember she told us they're offering her what? Yeah, they're offering me $69 million, and Howard is saying, no, you have to get 140 million or more.
Oh.
That's where the 144
Okay.
million came.
That sounds
And Paul
reasonable.
told her, you did tell her, and we both said, take the money. If it's $69 million, are you kidding? And you said you can buy an island with that.
I wrote it down because I couldn't believe. I said, how many zeros is in it, Anna?
Right.
Just like this.
I remember that.
Because I know how I talk.
Right.
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't know. I said, if we don't know how many zeros go inside this, it's something that you should be grateful for at this point because you're going to be spending how many more years to be able to fight something that's
Right.
never going to come. You're going to take this money and you're going to
You gotta-
double
and
it
enjoy
and
it.
triple it.
Correct.
Anyway.
But Howard
Right.
said, no, you have to take at least, it was what, 144,
Yeah.
144 million minimum. If they don't offer you that, because they're billionaires, then
walking.
we're walking. And they did. And to this day, I believe the reason that Howard refused her to take that money is because then he wouldn't have been representing her anymore and he probably wouldn't have been in her life. That's my
So
belief.
what did it finally settle at?
It never did.
Zero.
She
She
died.
never got anything.
No, because
she
he
never got-
died.
Neither did Danny Lynn, nothing.
No, he died. The son died.
Yes.
Pierce.
Then the mother continued.
Yep.
Which
and then-
mother?
Oh, the sister.
The sister of Pierce,
continued.
Marshall, or
Okay.
one of the
His,
rel-
And
his
then-
other.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
she died.
Yep.
Okay.
And so she ended up with nothing.
Correct.
So Anna Nicole never got any money from that.
Not one penny.
And
Danny
how
Lynn
many
never
days
got
in
any.
court did she spend? It seems like that went on and on and on.
It was like 2 weeks, I think.
And so, but then didn't she marry? No, she never married Howard Stern. Howard Stern said, I'm the father.
And
Well,
there
you're
was a
talking
commitment,
about-
a legal ceremony.
You're talking about the Bahamas.
Yes.
We had a wedding in the Bahamas, which we did. It was on the cover of People magazine.
Correct.
I made her a wedding dress then too.
He
with
made all
scraps.
her dress, and I
It-
did all the photos.
It was
Yeah.
like a Sound of Music scenario because I end up at the Bahamas. She goes, I have a big surprise for you. You have to come tomorrow. I'm like, Anna, I've got clients. I've got to do things. No, you have to come. You have to be here.
Yes.
I can't do this without you. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so let's go.
Yep.
So,
And how did you feel about her marrying Howard Stern?
well, you know what? Everyone's relationship is different. And if they wanted to be together in that capacity, then I was like, great. Then at least Danny Lynn, the baby,
Right.
do you know what I mean? We had all these other considerations to make. So it
And
was
do you
fine.
think that they were sexual, her and Howard Stern?
They
A-
were.
Anna was very sexual.
She was
Okay.
very sexual. Yes.
Okay.
They were having sex all the time.
They were?
yeah,
Okay.
because he gave her comfort.
Yeah.
And so I don't fault him for that.
No.
But no, did she not? She was not in love with him.
I didn't think they were. I thought it was like just a weird ruse or cover up to get rid of Larry Burkhead. I didn't understand the relationship.
Larry was only in
They didn't love
Anna's
each
life.
other.
Larry was only in Anna's life for 1.5 minutes.
right.
Right.
And I'm telling you that exactly.
So
1.5 minutes.
so they get married.
I've known Anna now for almost over 20 some years, 25 years.
Well, because it's been 15 years.
So
Yeah.
you have to think, if Larry was only there for 1.5 minutes, what do you know about that individual? What do you think? How many restaurants do you think they went to? How many places did they go to the movies? What's a date?
So
When
so-
you go get food for us, that's a date?
yeah.
Not so much.
So they get married. You go to the wedding,
Oh.
and how long after that
You mean on the wedding on the boat? No.
they get married?
Yeah.
Yes. After they get married, how shortly after that does she pass? Then
They got married at the end of October. No, beginning of October. We buried Daniel the beginning of October. We had the wedding the end of October, and then she passes February 8th.
February.
So just a couple months.
And then it's after that then Larry Burkhead and Howard Stern start fighting over the custody of Danny Lynn.
We
right?
named Danny Lynn.
We
by the
named
way.
Danny Lynn.
We
So
came
as-
up with
as-
the name.
So as far as
Don't you think? Okay, I always thought it was a little odd
Yeah.
that you had one child named Daniel and then a girl named Danny Lynn. Like, I think that's kind of. I always just thought that was very close in the name.
that's why it
That's
that
why
what
we did it.
She wanted that.
her the baby's name was supposed to be Hannibal Rose.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
She had
And
done all
I don't
these-
think anybody even knows that.
She had done all
because-
these paintings of her belly and Hannibal Rose on it.
Oh,
So when the baby was going to be Hannibal Rose with all the paintings that we took from LA, and she was painting this
yeah.
since LA,
Yep.
we took it to the Bahamas and we decorated an entire room for Hannibal's
Yeah.
arrival.
The
Uh-huh.
nursery.
Then when Daniel died, she couldn't call her Hannibal Rose.
Oh, so she changed the name.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I
we
never
were-
realized that she changed the
Yeah.
name kind of in his honor. Okay.
So we were all sitting in the bedroom together, and she was in bed, and she was crying, and just a basket case because she couldn't let go of Daniel. And she's like, "I don't know how I can even." And she was saying, "I don't know how I can let Daniel go." And at this point, the baby was called Hannibal. She goes, I'm not going to use that name. I can't use that name.
She
I wanna
couldn't
use-"
call her like
Yeah. She goes, I want to use a name with Daniel's name. So we started all calling me, Paul, Dr. Chris. We're all in the room and we were all calling out names. So I said, why don't we name her Daniela? Because I had a girlfriend in high school, believe it or not, when I was straight, named Daniela. And Lynn was Vicky Lynn, Anna's middle name.
Middle
and our
name.
daughter's middle name too was Lynn. And then I said, Hope for the future. Let's call her Daniela Lynn Hope. And Anna looks and she says, I like that. And then what did she say? Let's do Danny Lynn. Danny Lynn Hope Marshall Stern. That's what she said.
that's
to
how
us.
the baby's name. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a couple of hours. We wrote things down,
I have
and
a whole bunch of
obviously,
names written down.
you know, we were
Right.
just hanging out. It's very intimate, and we
Yes.
were trying to comfort her. We're trying to come up with. Of course, we're all cradling the baby. The nannies are, you know,
Yes.
coming in and out of the room. The baby's crying. All the stuff is happening. So the whole scene. And when we came up with the name, there's this something miraculous that happened.
Yeah.
Her face lit up. Her energy changed a little bit. She called for the baby immediately
Yeah.
for the nurses, for the nannies to bring the baby back into the room. She was starting to sing to the baby.
Mhm.
At 2:00 in the morning, we used to take the baby out on the tennis court and
Yeah.
run around and, you know,
With all the paparazzi
Would-
on the other side of
would
the
be
estate
wearing-
taking pictures, snapping.
in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
Bahamas.
And so, okay, so once
She felt like she could start connecting to the baby in
Yes.
that way.
So you were back in LA when you got the horrible news. Then.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. And we got the call and Mo.
Well, before we were supposed to be going to Miami.
Oh, for the boat. Yeah, I forgot
because
about that.
we had talked to her the night before. So we're going to Miami to go pick up the boat. She goes, "Oh, you
drive the
guys
boat
got to
back.
come. So just meet me in Miami.
Yeah.
We're going to take the boat. We're going to go back to the Bahamas, and
That's
then you
right.
can fly back out.
Yeah.
It'll be a great weekend."
That's how crazy it was with Anna. She would always just spur the moment, say, "Oh, I need,"
But-
and we would drop everything and go.
But of course she would. But she knew to count on her friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like most of our friends are just as crazy when they
Yeah.
call you, and we call them the same way. We're like, "What are you doing? Let's go." But it just seems like a whole harebrained scheme idea that you would never ever think about.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to go to Miami. So she calls us and she goes, "I fell in the bathtub. My head hurt.
Yes. I forgot.
So
yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna go tomorrow. I may just wait a day and just relax, and then we'll
she
go."
had, and you forgot she had a vitamin B shot
Shot.
in her butt that got infected, and she had pneumonia.
Oh.
And so Dr. Chris had called us, remember, and told us she was giving her an ice bath because she had to bring her fever down because she had like 104 fever or something.
And I told her, I said,
Yeah.
"Go to the hospital. What is
Yeah.
wrong with you?"
no,
She goes,
they're
"No,
gonna
it's gonna
know
be
me.
too
Yeah,
much.
she goes, "It's
I
too
don't
much."
want to do that because everyone's gonna ask questions,
Right.
and they're all gonna go blah.
And the last,
And I know that to be true each time something did happen.
but do you remember the last word she ever said to us on the phone was, and that's why I put it in the front of our book, Portrait of an Icon. The last word she ever said to us on the phone was, because we said, "Okay, we're gonna come. I love y'all. Kiss, kiss." Those are the last words she ever said to me. So we put it in our book.
And then you got the word that what happened? She just
The next morning,
A reporter called me first.
well, there were so many reporting trucks in front of
Yeah.
the boutique at Rodeo. And I'm like, well, this is weird. They got there before me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with
Yeah.
these people. I walk into the store. There's swarm of paparazzi. I don't want to call them paparazzi, but there are all these people in front of the boutique, like going crazy.
Yep.
The employees in the back, they've closed the door, because they're afraid of what's going on. And then
Reporter calls me because
Calls
we
him
had
for-
done several interviews after Daniel died. We were on ET and Insider and all of those. So reporter calls me and he goes, "Oh my God, do you have any of the information about Anna Nicole?
like the
I'm like,
comment. Do you have
a comment about Anna Nicole?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Well, she just passed out at the." He told the reporter said that she just passed out at the Hard Rock Hotel, and at that point, the media did not know she had died. So I called Mo immediately, the bodyguard, Big Mo, and I'm like, Mo, and he answers the phone in tears, and I'm like, "Mo, what's going on? What's going on? Someone just said Anna passed out. Is she okay?" He goes, "No, baby girl's gone. She's gone. They just declared her gone." And I just started bawling. And I'm like, "Mo, what? What do you got? You got to get here. You got to get here. Patrick, you got to get here. I love you boys. You got to get here." I'm like, "What do you mean she's gone?" He goes, "Anna's dead."
Honestly, in the meantime,
I broke down.
there were people rushing in the store.
Right. And then I called
Trying
him,
to
and that's when they were
steal
running
things.
in.
Trying to take things.
Right. They tried to
From the
steal her
store.
dress off the mannequin. They were running out of the boutique with the
But
dress.
wait, when you arrive to your store at that time and you see all the reporters, you don't know because you two aren't together.
No.
I was in my office.
And so how do you find
then
how do
the
you
only-
find out?
I called him immediately and told him.
Because he was at the office, which is around the corner from the boutique.
Yep.
And I just broke down. And next thing you know,
He dropped the phone. I was
we-
telling him he dropped the phone. Just
we rushed
crying.
to LAX, got on the first flight.
You're right.
Because when we
Sorry.
went to Miami,
We went together. You're right.
the whole area was barricaded.
Blocked off.
You can't get in, you
Yeah.
can't get out. Everybody was behind these walls. And it was because it was a reservation, an Indian reservation, they had different kind of police. The minute they knew it was us two,
And
at
every
the
new-
Hard Rock Cafe.
Yes.
At the
Yes.
Hard Rock
and
Hotel.
'Cause
every
it's on an
news
Indian-
reporter was there.
Indian
Every
reservation.
truck,
Oh.
everything.
so
Right.
they allowed us to be able to drive because they checked with the front. Our names were there. We're the only ones
And
in.
then Dr. Chris came down the
Yeah.
elevator and met us and took us
took us
up
upstairs
to the hotel room.
And-
And we were in the same
in
hotel
the
room
room that she passed
she
away.
passed away in.
So when
That
I
was-
went upstairs, I saw Howard, I saw Mo.
Yeah.
I left him there, and I took another private plane and went to the Bahamas immediately because we
Right.
got a call saying that the house was being.
Because they were looting and
Looting.
ransacking the house.
So I went to the Bahamas, like within minutes,
Right.
because on a private, it was just really quick. I get to the Bahamas. The government meets me at the airport
Yep.
with security and police. I go to the house because they know me
Right.
because we had security the whole time when we were in the Bahamas. And I try to take the house back over.
You did take the
From
house back
the-
over. You
from
secured
the-
it.
Yeah,
Because they were looting,
but they had
taking everything.
taken so much. U-Hauls were being
It was
driven away.
horrific.
Just random people, or what are you talking about?
The developers that she was in conflict with over the house.
Because
Oh.
everybody was worried that I'm not going to get paid or
Right.
what's going to happen.
Oh.
Correct. So they were
And
taking
the
everything.
only thing I remember is walking into the baby's room and just I couldn't even put my head around seeing
Yeah.
the devastation of what the house looked like. I had to go then do a police report. There was just so much involved.
Yeah.
And then he came on a private plane with
Yep.
Howard,
yeah. To
to
the
the-
Bahamas.
hours later, because I'm
Yep.
like, you guys can't stay there. You guys cannot stay here.
But I was in her, eerily, we're in her hotel room in the bed that she had passed away in. It was just this weird,
It was
like you can't understand the,
So then after this, she's put to rest.
yes.
That is when then there's the custody dispute or
Yes.
the biological dad dispute
Correct.
between Howard Stern and
Larry Burkhead.
Larry
Larry.
Burkhead. And
Yes.
how did that get resolved? They just finally did a DNA
He
test? or what?
finally got a
court
court
order.
order to get a DNA and then prove that he was, in fact, the biological father.
And what did he live off of to raise her? Did Anna have much money at that point when she passed?
No, she did not. I think
I
her house
think-
was underwater in Studio City, they said.
It was upside down.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
And let me tell you why. Because Anna, I love her, but if you gave her $1,000, she would spend $10,000. She
Yeah.
never had the concept of money or how
why
to
should
spend
she?
it.
She was Anna Nicole. She had a great, fabulous
It's so
fashion
true.
sense.
And she had no concept of spending and what she was spending. If she
Right.
wanted it, she got it.
I think Larry's opportunities arise when he realized that he could sell photographs,
Correct.
which is what he used to do. Unfortunately, before Anna Nicole, nobody really bought his photographs to make money, so he had to sleep on people's couches. Therefore, having access to what people wanted, which were photographs of the baby,
Right.
became a lucrative opportunity. They don't pay you for interviews, they say, and they pay you for pictures.
Right.
And he took a lot of pictures, held her up, and got money for it. And then realized he couldn't stay in LA, went to Kentucky,
Correct.
where he could actually be able to afford something to survive.
And he was also a big fish in a little pond in Kentucky. And that's why he went there.
Yeah, I always remember they'd go to the Kentucky Derby and everything. And,
Right.
And she's really pretty. Now, how old is she now? Like 15?
16.
16. And I saw something, they would do like a follow-up once in a while and
Right.
seeing her stuff. Do you have any contact with her?
We don't.
No.
He doesn't allow anybody that was in Anna's life and in her inner circle.
I can
to
tell
even
I
be
can tell you
involved.
one thing. We will
Yeah.
after she turns 18
She'll find us.
because she doesn't know her mother.
Right.
Larry does not know her mother.
True.
If Anna Nicole was here today, Larry would have never seen Anna Nicole's baby.
That is true.
So if you think that Larry wants to be able to share what her mother was like, he doesn't know. He was only in her life for a minute and a half and a sperm donor. So when you have valued relationships that you build throughout entire span of life, and you have friendships that you build,
Correct.
business relationships that you procure, don't you think that those people know the individual? Wouldn't you want to keep them close so that you can share and create a safe space for a baby to recognize how loved that person was? How how impactful that they were in so many different instances. We've celebrated birthdays, we've celebrated holidays,
Yeah.
we've celebrated Mother's Day and Father's Day simultaneously together.
Yeah.
So he's never done any of those. Just as an example, Thanksgiving, like there's so many celebrations that
That
we've
you had with Anna Nicole.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for
Yeah.
every day. If we didn't speak to each other at least every other day, there was something wrong.
Remember we had AOL back then, so we
Right.
used to her screen name, which nobody knows unless it's in our book, but it was Hot Smoochy Lips, and mine was Patrik AZ1 because I had been back and forth from Arizona, and so we would always talk on instant messenger.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't know what my conversations were
Right.
with Anna, but I can tell you one thing. I know every single whisper and syllabus that he always uttered to my best friend.
And I will tell you that Larry should be very scared of the conversations between us
Because
and Anna
my
regarding
friend-
Larry.
My friend and I, we shared. Just
Yeah.
like every good friend does.
Right. Well, I'm very excited for people to watch the documentary. And also, I want to talk about your new podcast that you guys are doing. It's a fashion podcast.
Oh my God,
So-
Heather!
It's really fun, and you do it on YouTube too, and you do it with your gowns
Oh my
all around
God.
you.
Yes.
And it's called Undressed with Paul and Patrik.
Yep.
And obviously, anywhere you guys, get podcasts, or if you want to watch it, you can subscribe on YouTube and all of that. And anything else you want to tell people to follow you, tell them now.
I'm loving doing the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised.
I know.
I never thought I'd love doing it as much as I like it better than the show,
Than doing your reality show.
than doing the TV show because.
You do?
Yeah, because I get to sit and relax in the show. They make me sew. They make me dress. They make, there's so many things. They make me dance like a freaking monkey.
Yeah.
I swear to God. On this one, at least I get to settle.
I love the show.
And
Gown Out.
where can people, if they are in Beverly Hills or they're coming to LA
Sure.
and they want to come to your store and
Oh my God, so many people do. They
and
come
see,
visit
and
us.
maybe
Yeah.
get a dress.
Go to 9414 Dayton Way, Beverly Hills.
And are all the dresses like custom?
all custom.
So there's nothing that you
No,
can
you
just.
can get off the
But
rack.
it's custom
but
and
they're-
put on the rack
they're
that
one
you
of a
can come in
kind.
and buy.
Yeah.
And is there
Yeah.
any? But are there any that you could like borrow, or only if you're a celebrity?
Who's asking?
I know.
Me.
Oh, Heather.
Don't you have some that
Oh,
somebody
Heather.
else wore that like would fit me?
We have a size 0 for you,
I'm
yes.
not a zero.
0.
I'm not a zero. But
They can follow me on Patrik Simpson Instagram, Paul Atteu Instagram, Snow White 90210.
You're welcome to come anytime.
Yes.
Yes.
Come pick a dress.
So thank you so much, you guys. And Netflix that drops May 16th. Anna Nicole Smith, You Don't Know Me. Follow their podcast, follow them. And Gown and Out
In Beverly Hills.
in Beverly Hills is available on Tubi.
Prime Video.
Yeah.
I won't even tell you some of the amazing guests we have coming
I
on
know.
our radio.
When-
Oh my
Prime
God.
Video, Roku, Tubi,
And
4 seasons.
And
It's
then now
international.
you're going now to film another season.
Yeah, we're doing a hybrid break-off season
Okay.
called Gowning Out in Beverly Hills, Dubai, bitches.
Oh.
And now we're doing a whole season of just Dubai.
And you're okay, and you're going off to go do that. Okay,
Yeah.
that is great.
You see
That'll
what
be
I
fun.
mean?
That'll be fun.
That's what I'm talking about. See, the podcast, I sit down.
Yeah.
The other one, I got to fly across the freaking continent.
You're
Yes.
flying Emirates, bitch. You should be happy.
I have not been to Dubai.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
But
you're gonna
I
love it.
was
I will
getting-
take you. You want to go?
Yeah, I want to
Come
go.
with us.
It's
I want to
amazing.
go. I want to go. I mean, I would
We
like
can get another Rolls Royce for you.
All right. I'd like to go. I mean, my friends, Allie Shapiro, Jill Zarin's daughter, she went recently with the Atlantis opening.
Oh, yeah.
And watching her stuff, I was like, I mean, I thought I got more excited for Dubai watching her little TikToks
Sure.
than watching the entire season of Real Housewives of Dubai.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
Because
something.
I just feel like
There's
she showed the beauty
well,
more in a
yep.
touristy
there
way.
is the Dubai that you and I will see.
Yeah.
And then there's the real Dubai, which you don't want to go through
right.
Okay.
because it's the desert. It's
Right.
exactly what you think. But, you know, the Russian oligarchs have really created a little Monaco. Like,
Yeah.
it looks like Monaco.
Dubai is one of the most amazing cities.
Yeah, they have
countries in
everything.
the world. It's amazing.
And it's really very friendly.
Yeah. Well, they told us that we're going to be shooting a magazine cover, so we're going to be the first gay couple on the magazine in Dubai.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think
going to be kind of cool.
that's great.
For
That's
the
really
June
great.
issue. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I can't
Yeah.
get married because, you know, bitch stole my wedding, but I can have a magazine cover.
Yeah, thank you, Lance.
Just milk out this engagement for another 5 years.
Well, I figure he can't afford another ring right now anyway,
No.
Heather, so it's fine. I'm
Just start
good
calling
with
you
this
Star
one.
Jones. Paul.
Well, I'm glad you guys came out. Thank you
you
so
having us.
much.
Thanks for having us.
As always, you guys remember to go over to heathermcdonald.net and join my Patreon because I've got so many thoughts about this episode, everything that happened during the week, and so much juicy scoop I'll be sharing with you guys, and you can only get it there. Also, that's where you get all my tickets to my live shows. You always go to heathermcdonald.net first. You can subscribe to my YouTube, please, and share the show. And of course, my new fun, cute merch is all available in any size and color in black or white that you choose. Thank you.